you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich. And whether you're joining us tonight on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. Remember, if you're of a particular special evening, in particular, I should say, it's possibly the worst matchup in Monday Night Football history.
Oh, I saw that earlier.
No, there's been worse.
This is the worst total winning percentage of two teams this far into the season that have ever met up on Monday Night Football. So this is the worst they've ever done at this stage in the game. Yeah. Now, I know you were talking about one about 2 years ago, that the infamous Derek Anderson laughing on the sideline as his Cardinals were blown out by the 49ers. And that one was pretty bad. That was before the 49ers were good. And that one was pretty bad. But this is embarrassing. How many did the Vikings win? What, one? One game? I know they beat
Giants
the Steelers.
even have the Giants
I think the combined winning percentage
0-6.
was .090.
The Giants are
The Giants
0-6.
still haven't won?
No.
But remember, if you're not listening on one of the many glorious apps, I
That
forgot
part
we
is
were doing
it's
that.
the same team, basically, and that's won 2 Super Bowls.
We'll get to that, but take your smartphone
That
and search
makes no
1 and
sense.
4 and 0 and 6. That makes
That's rough.
1 and 10. But anyways,
That's rough.
Remember, just go to the App Store, search for TuneIn Radio. It is free to download. Simply install it, search MSC Radio Network, and you are listening to us live on the go from your phone. Call the show toll-free 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. You can you tweet at us is what you can do. I just forgot what I was doing for a second. At @high_on_sports or hashtag High on Sports. Facebook.com/High on Sports is the fan page. Make sure you go give it a like. And highonsports.net is the website. It's got the archive of all our past shows. My blog with weekly contribution from Mark. There's been some good pieces on there. Good pieces on there lately. You want to check that out? It's in the still titled Ralphie Rants section. We'll see. Subject to change, potentially. But, again,
No, you're just taking credit for the intern's work.
Sure. No, I do make sure. I do make sure. It is listed. It says by Mark under all of them.
Interns, you don't
He
get
gets
credit.
No, they get credit
I'm
from this show.
joking.
We're the nice show. We're the one
Yeah.
show that likes the interns. The rest of them, they hate you guys. But highonsports.net, again, is that website. Now, we got a jam-packed show for you, so let's get right into it. It is round one. Let's go. There it is.
This is a little delay.
Yeah, this is the worst matchup. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I feel bad, because we're at a good time where we, our show's over and everything and before Monday Night Football starts. So we usually, if we really care about the Monday Night matchup, we have an opportunity to perhaps listen to it, find it somewhere or something. But this one, it's just, I'm glad I'm busy and not home. Vikings and Giants. I'll tell you what, I have one rooting interest here. I am down 18 points in my fantasy football league with only Victor Cruz left to go. And the last time I was in a bind like that, Victor Cruz put up, I want to say it was 26 or almost 30 points or something like that. 29 points is what it was, is what Victor Cruz did for me. And I feel like the Vikings are not very good. And although the Giants are 0-6, I think they finally get their crap together. And I think he remembers just throw the ball to Victor Cruz and close your eyes. And he'll throw less interceptions with his eyes closed, I think, than with them open. Eli, I'm talking about. But, so as long as Victor performs like he should, then I will continue to be the one team that hasn't lost in our fantasy football league. Otherwise, I'll join the you guys of the league, the middle of the road
Dude, my
people.
team is terrible. Every time I turn around, I lose a running back and a receiver.
That's true. You lost Reggie Wayne yesterday.
2 weeks after I lose Julio Jones.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
It's been great.
The whole damn running back lineup is hurt. Now I've lost my 2 best receivers.
I lost a guy once during this year, and it was about 3 days after I cut him. He ended up getting hurt. I'm just having one of those seasons where I cut a guy and they're out for the season, or I pick up some guy where it's we'll see what happens. He ends up being great. Gio Bernard is an everyday starter for me now, and I picked him up way late. He wasn't even the starter in Cincy.
Yeah.
I saw through the smoke and mirrors. I picked him up.
I can't blink or I lose
can't
a guy
do anything
for
wrong
a year.
right now. Despite Maurice Jones-Drew playing like trash for me, put up another 4 points for me this week. 4 points. And you were the only offensive thing on that whole team. And you're going to put up 4 points. Son of a bitch. Anyways, let's talk baseball. That's the obvious transition.
Because I'm very frustrated with fantasy football right
It is
now.
the World Series. I'd say you can feel it in the air, but you can't. That's just the sound of people snoring. We talked, and this is the best example. Is Von Erich here? Always the baseball fan, ever the baseball enthusiast. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all love it, obviously, but none to the level of you. You even said just before this, and you tweeted about it too. How could they have found a more boring matchup?
This is something that we've seen many years before. The Red Sox and the Cardinals. It's just more of the same old thing. Red Sox Nation, of course, excited after going worst to first and playing in the World Series just when we were just ready to write them off and saying they're in for a bad stretch. But turns out the only bad thing about them was Bobby Valentine.
I guess we got a caller on the line. Caller, what's going on?
Small sign in your yard. We will install
What?
a new security system
Nice.
at absolutely.
Leave it go. Let it go.
There is no cost for the system or the installation whatsoever.
Let it
To
go.
hear more, press 1 now. To be
What do you think this lady's favorites? Who do you think she's rooting for in the World Series?
This is Chris. How are you today?
Hey, Chris, who are you rooting for in the World Series?
Red Sox or the Cardinals?
We
No,
lost him?
man.
Damn it.
Damn it!
I really wanted to hear his take on it.
Right?
Yeah, he hung up.
That's cool. I've never had that happen. I've been doing this show a number of years, and I've never had that.
That was timing.
Wow, that was exciting.
Yeah.
I can't believe we got
What was that for? A security system?
Or something. I don't want to advertise them too much
I was
more.
saying before, a few weeks ago on Everything in Between, we need a call screener, and that's exactly why.
I think there's a good testament to it right there.
Yeah. So we end up with some telemarketers. Then the guy hangs up on us. Can't even give us the decency to talk after he
Those
bothers
guys can
us.
talk all day, and he wants to hang up.
I know, right?
Chris, it's after
I think
7
it's-
o'clock. I could be sitting to dinner with my family right
Should
now.
we call him back?
No.
We won't get him.
Can we do that?
No,
wouldn't
once
get
you call them, it's a completely different story. If they
Yeah,
call
you're
you,
right.
it's
Yeah, you're
one
Plus,
something else.
plus, we wouldn't get Chris again.
Don't ask me
Yeah.
how I know that, but I know that.
Did you get in trouble for calling him back?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's great.
Anyways, game 1 of the World Series, despite Chris not telling us who he was rooting for, it does open up on October 23rd.
This
That is
Wednesday, I
this
think.
Wednesday. That's that's pretty close. And we got just announced today official Adam Wainwright on the hill for the Birds and John Lester for the Sox. Game 2 projected the rookie Waka, who's making a
Waka?
lot of noise. People put up pictures of Pac-Man. They'll put Waka
Waka,
Waka
Waka?
Waka. Yeah,
Waka,
that's
waka,
clever.
waka.
Versus Clay Buchholz in Game 2. Game 3, John Lackey and Kelly for the St. Louis Cardinals. And then no idea in Game 4 yet. Who knows how they'll do it. Normally you'd know that, like, the rotation, but, like, for the World Series, they'll shuffle around. They'll make sure they get their best guys going.
It depends
if it's any
on,
kind of an
you know,
elimination or anything.
Yeah, if they're down games or up games, it really just depends on the situation. I'm surprised they even announced up to Game 3.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily official. It's what's expected right now, but that could change. That could very well change. But either way, of these two teams, we've got all the players and all the pieces and parts here. It's all set. No more mystery around it. We're going to go across. We're going to start with you, Von Erich. Von Erich, who's got the edge here? Who is going to be the winner of the 109th World Series?
See, the problem with my prediction is I don't care.
Right.
Like
I feel
it's
that.
not like I
get
don't.
that.
It's really hard to not only get into the series, but once it comes on Wednesday, I'm going to be excited. I'll listen and watch the games. No question about that. But not only am I not rooting for either team, but I would actively enjoy seeing both of them lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe the Red Sox more than the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with the Cardinals.
They're just one of those teams that you don't really hate, you don't like. They're just there. Mm-hmm. That's how I really feel about them, and especially after they lost Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. And not only that, they also lost their ace that they had for a while, Carpenter.
True.
Oh, yeah.
So that wasn't.
And I mean, and they're doing it with guys like, what was it? In the World Series, the World Series MVP was
David Freese, who's still a part of the team, ironically.
I mean, Alan Craig, like these guys
Yes.
were just like, they're good ball players, but it's just kind of like, and it is, heartwarming in that it's a sort of next man up thing. Pujols isn't here. We need people to produce, so these nobodies stepped in and starting putting up numbers, but they're nobodies.
Alan Craig was a guy who was, just struggling for, time playing on the field. Like, they didn't know where to put him. They're like, should we put him at first base, third base, outfield? But they didn't know where to put him. They just eventually found a spot for him once they learned that, hey, this is one of the top RBI guys that we have. So let's find a spot for him, make a spot for him. And that's just a testament to St. Louis's whole squad. If the guys are producing, hey, you need to get them out there. They're going to play, and that's what put them in the place they are right now, and that's the World Series.
They are probably, I'd find it hard to argue against this. They're the most stable and honestly, I mean, best for what it means, best franchise, top to bottom, probably in all of Major League Baseball. At least over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. That, again, they can lose a guy like Pujols. And actually, the first year they lost Pujols, that was the year they... No. It was the last year with Pujols they won the World Series. But, I mean, they're back in it now without Pujols. And there was
just
not
a couple years later.
Not a lot of time for turnaround.
And they still made the playoffs last year, too, even without him.
Exactly. It was just a motto of next man up. Whoever step in to take the place and keep going. No disrespect to them because that is one of the stable and best franchises. They lost a Hall of Fame manager, eventually Hall of Fame, in La Russa stepping down.
Oh, yeah, he retired after Pujols
He retired
left.
after he won the World Series. Mm-hmm. And they, again, it's just another situation. Next man up. Somebody else steps up and takes the reins, and they get it done. I think the Cardinals will win this series, and no disrespect to the Cardinals, but what I was trying to get at was, this is a whole nother ball game, pun intended, if the Dodgers are in this right now, if the Dodgers pull this one out.
Yeah, then it's more exciting.
Because it is
because of that whole blockbuster 2012 trade. You got those two teams that were involved in it now playing each other for the whole thing.
Exactly. Adrian Gonzalez is there, our buddy Carl Crawford. Mm-hmm. I mean, Yasiel Puig, for what's that worth? I mean, and it's a star-studded lineup. And it would really be exciting, but this is one of those cases where it's all about team, not about the guys going out there, per se. Which to someone who has no rooting interest one way or another with the Cardinals is kind of what makes it a boring game. There's not a lot to root for. I mean, I'd love to see good baseball, and I think you will. I think you'll see a lot of small ball, but I just don't know. Again, like I said, I think the Cardinals have the edge.
Yeah, that's the way
I'm having a hard time hyping myself up for it. And I feel bad. This is a sports show. I get that. We're supposed to come out here with sports opinions and stuff. I mean, this is my opinion. Not interested. Basketball season's about to start. I mean, not to say I would necessarily choose preseason basketball over World Series baseball. That seems a little ridiculous. But the season's about to tip off, and the Cavs, I mean...
They got a game tonight, right?
They got a game tonight against the 76ers. That's
Columbus.
preseason right now. Which, speaking of the 76ers, Von Erich and I were just talking about this, and actually, that too, where Nerlens Noel, someone who there was a great debate on this show and in this city, really, over whether or not the Cavs should have taken him number one overall. Obviously, we know how that story unfolded. They did not. 76ers head coach, who I don't remember because he was hired way late, and I'm sure he'll be fired way early, has announced today that he does not expect Nerlens Noel to suit up and see the court at all this season. The entire 13-14 season, they don't expect to have him. And they swapped, Von Erich and I looked this up, they swapped Drew Holiday and another first-round pick.
Yeah, for 2014.
Was it for 2014?
It's a protected pick, too, for 2014.
Oh, protected, yeah. So that's going to turn into something else because they're going to get pretty deep into the... I mean, pretty, they're going to have a good pick. But, and like I said, I think they're tanking. I think a lot of NBA teams, you're going to see more tanking this year than you have in recent years because of you got a guy like Tyler Wiggins waiting for you on the other end. And people are saying this is going to be a pretty impressive draft class coming up the next year. It's funny. You look at the 2 years the Cavs get the first round pick is the years people are like, ugh, this is going to suck. And then the years the Cavs don't and won't get it, it's the year you'd want it.
Yeah.
Like last year, you could have got. Well, I mean, and obviously, hindsight being 2020,
We didn't pick Noel.
The
That's for
Cavaliers,
sure.
did very well with their last number one pick, obviously, in taking Kyrie Irving, who at the time had only played 12 games of college.
Yep.
So that worked itself out, but more basketball coverage to come. Next week's show actually will be our basketball preview special. We're making finals picks, talking about some awards, breaking down some changes, a lot of shuffling going on draft night, trades, things like that, and see how they unfold and what the hell the Lakers are going to do if Kobe Bryant's ever going to show up. And Derrick Rose is finally going to play basketball
Oh, what?
again.
I feel like it's been like 10 years.
Exactly. Someone pointed out to me, RG3 for the Redskins.
Oh, this is the
Yeah,
greatest thing
that
ever.
was, that was great. He was drafted.
Led his team to the playoffs, got injured,
And came
back
back.
from that injury, all since he has last played
Awesome,
a
yeah.
professional game of basketball. That is nuts to think about, but hey, that's what it is. But yeah, he'll be back, and a lot of other storylines, obviously, to keep an eye on. All right, so I said Cardinals. Von Erich abstained out of not caring. What do you think, Ash?
I'm taking the Cardinals in 6.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't give a number because I don't care.
Yeah. I don't even know why I said a number. I'm just like, whatever, Cardinals. Yeah,
6 sounds good. I'll piggyback on
Yeah.
that one. Let's go 6.
6.
All right, we got to get local here for a minute. Unfortunately, there's still a story to be had here. The return of flipper Brandon Whedon. It's one simple play that I just want to start with. One simple play, but possibly the stupidest spectacle that he could do. And of course, we had last week. He tried to flip the ball last minute to Ogbonnaya, and it got intercepted because you were flipping it. You're a quarterback. You're paid to throw the ball, not flip it. Whatever was going on there. And not only was that ridiculous enough, all over the highlight reels, the not top tens, and people from other countries really just laughing at him, his poor attempt at athleticism. He did the same pass again, after actually last week Chudzinski directly mentioned it, as that's not what you do, that's not how we play the game, and that's not a move you make. Brandon Whedon, of course, defended himself again this week, saying, I'm just trying to make a play. Which, by the way, we talked this earlier, but the whole eating paste thing, it's been kind of a joke here and stuff, but I saw him in his press conference. He's got one eye kind of shut more than the other one.
He's making it
and
really
he's talking
hard.
slow, and he said we were battling out there. What? I know when you give an interview, it's just going to be the same tired, reused lines. But who was battling? I mean,
He's making it really hard for me to keep defending him. And
then just don't. I'm telling you.
He's making it so hard for me.
The guy's is just a professional paste eater. I mean, that's all there is to it. And Rob Chudzinski finally swayed on this, announcing today in his weekly press conference, saying that they are going to be thinking about a quarterback change, which obviously he's not going to outright say, nah, Brandon's trash, he's got to go. So this is a start, but no one knows what's going to happen here because I'd imagine it's not going to be, it's not going to be, how am I just blanking on his name? The backup here. He won't be here
Campbell.
long. Thanks. I don't know why it just slipped my mind for a minute, but I feel like it did to Chudzinski too. But it's not going to be Campbell, or at this point they would have made it Campbell. If they're going to come out and say they're going to consider making a change, then it's going to be we're going to look at other options. If it's, like I said, if it's Campbell, if Campbell's going to start against Kansas City next week, then we're talking about Jason Campbell starting against Kansas City right now. I maybe announce it tomorrow, but still, Brandon Whedon's going to have that job against Kansas City. And that's a thought dawned on me halfway through the game, and I'm glad to see that I'm wrong. But I'd come to a realization halfway through the Packers game, and it dawned on me, Brandon Whedon might have one of the most secure jobs in the entire NFL. And the thought made me physically sick. I mean, obviously guys like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and the like aren't in any kind of danger of getting benched, but that's because they win championships and are, all generational talents. This guy can hold his head up high and know that he's going to start next week, almost definitely, after he just tried to flip a ball 2 weeks in a row. And after he just led his team to a 31-13 loss to the Packers, which again, it's the Packers, so I give them that. No one had any hope to win that to begin with. 31-13 is reasonable. But it's just scary how secure he is in this job.
Now, do you think the whole Campbell not starting thing is money related? He has it in his contract. People have been talking about this for weeks, ever since even when Hoyer started over him, that, it's in his contract. If he starts, he gets that automatic 2 whatever million dollar bonus. And if he starts, I forget however many number of games, there's all these incentives for him to start, and he'll get so much more money. Is that why we're not starting him?
I think that's a part of it. And I also think that the front office didn't expect any quarterback on this roster to be a part of the plan going forward. I don't think they want. I always felt like going into the year that Whedon was more the coaches wanting to see what they could get from him versus the front office, because the front office trading away Trent Richardson tells you all you need to know about whether or not they're willing to take risks and stuff. They're willing to bail on guys that aren't theirs. And obviously, I'm not saying worry about Joe Thomas or Joe Hayden or anyone important like that. But I mean, they're willing to move on from decisions that they thought was a mistake from the predecessor. So I feel like if not for that coaching staff being there, I feel like he wouldn't have even been there. Whedon, I mean. So I know Campbell was added early on in the process as an attempt to, at the very least, spark competition in Whedon. But then when they actually wanted and Hoyer got freed up, obviously they would have rather had him to begin with, over Campbell. So Campbell was kind of here, and then not long after getting here, they realized they didn't need him to begin with. So I do think that's part of it, but I also think part of it is they kind of just want to be able to sever ties with him cleanly and everything, because I think of this roster, I think they proved only Brian Hoyer of these three quarterbacks is actually going to be on the team by the start of week 1 next year. And even that, I think, is going to be in a backup, if not in a mentoring starter kind of way. But, yeah, I definitely think if they can avoid... I mean, if you can avoid paying someone 2 whatever million, wouldn't you? and I don't think there's anybody out there that really thinks him coming in there is going to, make us start winning. I mean, if anybody thinks that, they're just fooling themselves. I'm at a point where I wouldn't mind seeing Campbell just because he's not Whedon. And that's the qualification I'm looking for in a quarterback right now. Is there any way we can trade back for Colt McCoy or something? I mean, Brady Quinn's a free agent right now, isn't he? Or is he still backing up in Seattle?
I don't know.
We could get him. We can get him. Let's bring the old band back together. Let's find Derek Anderson.
Oh, dear God.
We got Shut in here. Let's get DA. Let's pick up Edwards off the street or whatever he's pretending to do now. I think he's not in the NFL.
No.
We got to wait a little
so.
bit, because if you hadn't heard, Kellen Winslow Jr. suspended for illegal substances like PEDs or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
He's taking steroids in New York with the Jets. So we'll wait a little bit on him. We get that gang back together. We get Joe Jaravicius out of retirement. We get the old band back together. We ride again.
LaCharles Bentley.
Why not? LaCharles Bentley, bring him in. Well, he never really got to join.
No.
Give him a
That's
fair
all right.
shot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bring him
Clearly,
in.
we're willing to dust people off at the NFL Network and put them in. Look at Michael Lombardi. Months ago, he was a reporter at the NFL Network, and now he's running this team. But I don't know. The fact of the matter is, I don't want Whedon as much as the next guy. But it's like we said last week. You kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because who do we go and we get? I mean, if organizations don't like to make a move like this, where let's go grab somebody because they're not him. Fans like that move, but organizations do not make that move. Because again, like we talked about last week, who's out there? Tyler Thigpen? I don't even know who that is.
No,
I remember
we're
him
good.
with the Chiefs and the Bills. Maybe he was there an appearance. Those are two organizations that have not been great historically, although obviously the Chiefs are right now. But only undefeated team in football, and last year they were the number 1 overall pick. Go figure. But there's just not many choices out there. Vince Young. Do we call up Vince Young? Do we see what he's doing right now? Jamarcus Russell?
No.
Do we give that another shot?
No.
All right. I have the ultimate question for you, all right? This is just for you, okay? Because I want to know your take on this. The Browns have narrowed their choice down to 2, and they have to pick one because is my hypothetical situation. So it's my rules. They have to pick one. It's Jamarcus Russell, and the other one is Tim Tebow.
You're kidding me, right?
Who do you sign? Who would you rather
Can
start?
I pick a kindergartner and throw them
This
out
is a
there
good
and see what
question.
happens?
I'm expanding the field to everybody. Who would you rather start for the Browns the rest of the season? Tim Tebow or Jamarcus Russell? That's a fair question.
No.
That's a fair
I'd
question.
rather blindfold Whedon and let him still play
Let him flip it everywhere.
and then have one of them too.
No, you have to pick, though.
No,
if you had to. There's a magical
you
gun to
pick?
your head. I don't know.
How do you pick?
I'll tell you, there's an answer. It's Jamarcus Russell. Because I saw some special on ESPN. He's got a comeback, and they were playing like music in the background. It was all motivational. I was like, wow, he's back.
He's got to come
He's
back.
back. Do you hear that music in the
You
background?
got to get a team to pick
He's
you up
running
first.
upstairs, and there's music in the
Oh
background.
boy.
It's over. It's over. Rocky, I mean, that's what happened in Rocky. And look at him.
Got some Eye of the Tiger playing, ran up the
Exactly.
stairs. Boom,
Eye of the
knocks
tiger
you
while
down.
you're running up the stairs. That's how
you
comebacks
go.
start. That's how magic happens. That's how this business works. No, I honestly believe they bring in someone.
Well,
off
I mean,
the
we
street.
only have 2 quarterbacks, so you kind of have to.
That's true. They bring in someone off the street, but Whedon starts this week. And I
Yeah.
think whoever they bring in off the street, if they bring someone in off the street and he starts and Campbell doesn't, at that point, if I'm Campbell, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything formal like resign or retire or
No,
anything
I'm
like
just
that. I'm just
walking.
gonna be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or he
I'm
might
out.
just stick around and say, hey, screw you guys. You're going to have to start
That's
me
true.
eventually.
Maybe Campbell's just enjoying his time getting paid for nothing.
Right, he's not. Yeah,
Maybe
he's
he's
not.
at that state in his career where he'd rather just kind of hang out.
Get paid.
Exactly. Why not? All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, you're going to find out what's urinating us off. We've got the very first of the last BCS rankings.
Whoa.
We'll look at that bureaucratic computer crap and break that down a little bit. Where are the Buckeyes? 3 up, 3 down, all that and so much more. That's the High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more. And almost taste Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/burrito crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs. Oh, damn good. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktop laptops and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com, or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com.
MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out.
Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network. User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and store monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. Yo, it's Woody. Now, I know a thing or two about women, and I want to help all the ladies out there take care of their men. Happy Endings Orgasmically Organic Massage Oil. Yeah, I said orgasmically organic, made right here in Cleveland. Now, no other product delivers this level of purity and performance. It's guaranteed to improve your overall experience and keeps that sensitive skin soft and smooth. Guys, don't be a tool. You're doing it anyway. Might as well do it right. Get your happy ending at happyendingsoil.com. That's happyendingsoil.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Welcome back to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
And whether you're joining us tonight on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not on one of those many glorious apps that I just mentioned this second, then go ahead and take your smartphone, go to the App Store and search for TuneIn Radio. It is free to download, just install it, and you can listen to us live on the go from your phone, wherever you may be. So that's good stuff. I tell you, I swear by that app, honestly. TuneIn Radio. Check it out. It is worth it and free. So obviously worth it, even if it sucked, but it doesn't. So anyways, remember, as always, you can call the show toll free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. You can tweet at us at high_on_sports or with the hashtag high-on-sports. And of course, the facebook.com/high-on-sports is our Facebook fan page. Go ahead and give it a like for a bunch of breaking news, funny or insightful posts, memes, videos, all kinds of good old internet fun and stuff. And the website is high-on-sports.net. You want to check that out for the archive of all our past shows, my blog with weekly posts from Mark, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, that is high-on-sports.net. All right, we have got a jam-packed second half for you. It is round 2. Let's go. All right, it's time for a staple of High on Sports. And I want to mention something first off before we start with this, gentlemen. Our very own Von Erich is participating in a 5K this weekend.
Whoa.
Yes.
Your
That's
running
exciting.
shoes on.
That's a lot of Ks.
Weather permitting, of course. If it's pouring
Oh, God.
rain, I'm not even going to show up.
What is this for a charity or like just you bored?
No, it's not for a charity. It's for my own selfish gains. It's actually a zombie race where there is people dressed up as zombies.
Oh, do you get to
chasing
shoot
you.
them?
No, you didn't get to shoot
I
them.
mean, not with a real gun, with like a Nerf gun.
No, it's not nothing fun like that. But
Oh,
they
well,
are.
that's lame.
They
Nope,
are chasing
nope.
after you, so you gotta
Lame.
run for your
It's
life.
raising-
Don't want it.
so to speak.
Raising zombie awareness.
Unless I get to bring my Nerf gun.
That's a
and
charity to
pop
me.
'em in
That
the
was
head.
one of the things I was worried about. If these guys get a little too close to me, I might get a little violent. I'm just saying.
I'd be like,
just
I don't
throwing it
want to
out
turn
there.
into a
It
zombie.
might
Pop,
happen.
pop. We used to do that at BG. We had like the little zombie thing.
Zombies versus humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Familiar with that game.
That's fun.
It was fun.
Zombies are so cool.
Just
Walking Dead.
Just walking
I love
around
that
campus.
show.
Next thing you know, someone comes like, eh, and then someone pops out of a bush, pop, right in the head with a Nerf gun. That's the old, yeah.
That poor son of a bitch. Didn't see it coming.
No?
Well, anyways, I think it's great you're raising zombie awareness. I think that's enough
Yeah.
of a charity for me. Remember, kids, don't trust a zombie.
I mean, zombies chasing me would be the
not
last
really
thing.
a
though. I'd probably
sport,
die
but-
2 miles into it.
The fact that you've added zombies makes it close enough to a sport. Well, it makes me care enough. So
Yeah, just regular running.
I
That wouldn't have caught my interest.
That's boring.
Olympics,
Who likes
maybe.
to run?
If it's for America.
Right? If it's for
Maybe.
America and I'm going to win a medal, but I'm not doing it just for fun. It's not fun and
this
running.
is for survival. It's about zombies. So, all right. Well, it's time for a stable on sports, and that is, of course, what's urinating us off. And we're going to start with our enemy to zombies, Von Erich. What's going on, Von Erich?
Oh, we talked about it earlier in the show. This Monday night debacle that's going on tonight. Giants, Vikings, combined winning percentage .090. Now, several years back, the NFL put a rule into effect that all Monday night games are subject to change. And if they want to bring in a game from the Sunday night roster that might be a little more appealing to viewing audiences, maybe some teams that actually perform on the field, I'd be all for that. What's the point of having this rule if they're not going to bring out these better games?
If I can add something real quick before you get into this more, just since you mentioned it, breaking news right now, running back for the Giants, Brandon Jacobs, is for sure inactive tonight, meaning the guy who's probably going to take the bulk of carries, Peyton Hillis. Take that for what it is.
That's something to think about.
Just something to think about.
Oh, Peyton.
Signed this week, by the way. Just fun thought. Go on,
Off
though.
the street.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's some diehard Giants fans out there, and maybe some people in Minnesota that want to watch the Vikings.
They're in
That's
Ireland.
not a minute. That's
They're in
Ireland.
Ireland too, I guess.
Oh yeah, a little Irish, but
That's not Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Maybe there's some Irish people wanting to watch the Vikings.
They talk almost like Canadians. Minnesota, eh?
They are Canadians. Let's be reasonable
Well,
here.
yeah, they do talk like that.
Let's not make this a thing.
No,
No, it's not.
no,
It's just gonna get progressively worse. and
Yeah.
We're just all gonna sound like idiots.
yeah.
But other than that, there's no one excited about tonight's Monday Night Football,
No.
and ESPN hates that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really shocked that they're not instituting that rule that was put into effect that, hey, let's get something a little better on TV
I mean-
for everybody.
Yeah, it's probably just they didn't figure. Because, I mean, the Giants are still. I can't understand how they're 0-6.
No.
I feel like they're still a good team.
He's thrown 15 interceptions. Eli Manning has.
Wow,
15
Eli.
interceptions. As
Eli,
good as
what are you doing, buddy?
As good as Peyton has been, Eli has been that bad.
Eli, you're better than that. Wow, that's
It's just
bad.
sick. It really is. I'll tell you what though, I don't want to start talking draft right now because I feel like once you start thinking draft, it's all you'll think about with the way the Browns have been playing and are gonna continue to play. But they couldn't have picked a better time to suck. Honestly, they're gonna end up sliding right in there to get Jadeveon Clowney. Most likely, because
I'd be okay with that.
They're going to have like the worst draft pick of a team that does not by any means need a quarterback. Obviously, like Jacksonville and Cleveland and Tampa Bay will be down there in needing a quarterback. They'll have the best draft pick of a team that does not need one, and they can scoop up Jadeveon Clowney to add to this defense. That's scary. I mean, if I'm a Jets fan, that's one thing keeping me going. I want to suck enough for Clowney, but maybe that's what they're doing. Who knows? Probably not.
Maybe.
I can't think of any situation where it would make sense to tank a season for a defensive end, but maybe that's just me. But thank you, Von Erich. You're absolutely right. It's just just fix it. This is Monday Night Football. This is supposed to be Sunday night. Seems like it's the night now. When does Sunday night have a bad matchup?
Never.
I mean, they've got they just had Colts Broncos.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning's return to Indianapolis.
Yeah, imagine how better that would have played out tonight.
I feel like ESPN is maybe. I feel like because they're cable. I mean, I know they're ESPN. They're the forefront of sports, but they're still a cable channel versus network. I feel like they're afraid to alienate viewers, while NBC is like, I don't care. We're NBC. We're the first channel, basically, that shows up on your TV. You don't have a choice. Sometimes we have the Super Bowl, which means you're watching whether you want to or not. But ESPN is more like, well...
When is the Super Bowl been on NBC? It's usually CBS or
no,
Fox.
it alternates CBS, NBC, Fox. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought it was just the two.
Nah. It was, but once NBC got back into the football game, they're back in it. Yeah, absolutely.
Back in it.
I feel like they just were. Maybe.
No, I think it was
No,
Fox.
year before.
Because I always thought it...
It was who played the intern? Who played the Super? Where was the Super Bowl this year?
Pittsburgh and Arizona were on NBC when they played a few years ago.
Exactly.
Oh, I
Pittsburgh,
gotta keep
Arizona.
pushing that night.
Pittsburgh. Oh, that's probably why you don't remember. But yeah, Pittsburgh, Arizona. That was on NBC.
Really?
And they go. They alternate every third
I
year.
always thought it went back and forth from CBS to Fox.
No, they switch off
Goes
between
a
the three
three-way.
now. They go on a
Okay.
rotation. It is a three-way. Some have called it, but by which I just mean you. But but exactly no, and it's kind of like ESPN doesn't want to scorn New York. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Minnesota. There's like 18 people there. It's
Yeah.
not going to hurt the bottom line.
And they
but
like
New
hockey a
York
lot more
is
than
New
football.
York. You can't
You don't-
really.
yeah, you don't piss
they
off
don't want to
New
be
York.
like, well, screw the Giants.
Yeah, and cut their Monday night game.
Exactly.
That makes some people not happy. Well,
I just don't
I
see
feel
why
like
they-
it's harder with Monday night too, because with Sunday nights you can just push the time back. You can go, oh,
Monday
it's supposed
night,
to be a
there's
4
a lot
o'clock
of
game.
changes to the flights and things like that, so it's got to
But-
probably be really in advance.
Monday night, yeah, you're like changing a whole day. So I see why they don't, because that would screw a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
Like just, oh, hey, next week, yeah, your Monday night game, nope. And then people are like, what?
Exactly.
But-
Exactly. You can't take that away, and it gets so confusing because teams have to have at least one nationally televised game. So it's kind of like the NFL is probably like, let's get this one out of the way for the Vikings, so we don't have to put them on national TV again. Let's just knock this out real quick. But anyways, again, thank you, Von Erich. And now, mine, we go to the college football world. And we go to Division, I don't know, not one. Grambling State. Is it Grambling or just State? Just Grambling? I don't remember. Either way, we go to Grambling, a known college and stuff. Grambling State, yeah, duh. Either way, making headlines this week for their boycott of a game they played this week, in which they obviously refused to play. I'm sure most of you, heard the story by now, but they refused to play the game under protest. It's crazy. They're on their third coach this season. An interim to an interim kind of thing. It's absolutely insane. They're 0-8. They were 0-7 going into this game against Jackson State. And because they were first forced to forfeit, so the official score is listed as 1-0, which is pretty interesting. They lose 1-0 to Jackson State because of the forfeit. And they just announced the SWAC, or South, Western Athletic Conference. That sounds right, sure. They that sounds like it's a thing. But they announced they won't fine them because of for everything. They'll just give them their suspension and send them on their way. And they've just come back. They talked to their original coach. And the original coach, 2 coaches ago, told them, get out there, Coach Doug Williams. They talked to that. Doug Williams told them, go out there and play football. That's all you can do right now. So they ended it, and they decided to start playing football again. My problem is what they were protesting was, and boycotting and everything was, a lot of things. They didn't like where the organization is, obviously on their third head coach this season, the quality of a lot of their equipment and things like that, and stuff being outdated and all that stuff. But what bothers me here is most of you are playing on a scholarship. Because of your ability on a football field, you're getting paid to come here. You're getting paid to learn. All right? So first of all, cut your bitchin' to begin with. And second of all, this is a privilege that you get to go out there and play division whatever this is, like pretend football. It's still a privilege. It's not a right. It's not something you are promised. You agreed to come here. You agreed to that. You don't just get to be like, nah, this stuff's not good enough for me now. Even if the equipment sucks, well, guess what? You picked a program with sucky equipment.
Yeah, that's your own fault.
Go for 4 years and do some fancy classes and come out a doctor or something smart. It's just really stupid, and they're kind of taking it all for granted that they even get this opportunity, and it's just more and more where people feel like, in college players and stuff feel like they're owed this opportunity to play, and the fact of the matter is you're not.
No,
you're absolutely not. I said it before, and it sums it up the best. This is a privilege that you get to put on this equipment and go out and play every week, not a right. And obviously, it does not look like a privilege they've been taking advantage of. As I said, they are 0-8.
Yeah, so
just last week they lost 48-0 against Alcorn State. Alcorn, what is that?
That'd be why you've gone through a couple coaches, so I'm not really sure why you're getting pissed off about fired coaches. When you lose 48-0, go home.
I don't know.
Just go home.
Well, Alcorn's 6-2. They're really getting it done this year.
Hey.
They just beat Texas Southern.
Who?
I don't know.
Are these high schools? What are these? Are we Division 3?
They just beat AR Pine Bluff.
Are you making names up right now?
No, I'm actually reading these off a list. These are real. These are real. These aren't like user created in Madden or something. These are real stuff. Anyways, that's it for urinating off. Let's break down the first week of BCS
next
rankings.
year's playoffs.
Next year, there is no BCS. It's the lame duck year for the BCS. So now, it doesn't frustrate me. I just kind of sit back and be like, have fun, BCS. Live it up, You're going to die soon, so, whatever. Either way, we'll look at the top 25 here, starting at 25. Oregon State, Nebraska, UCF, Michigan still ranked on here, South Carolina.
Well, they all got back in because, a bunch of people lost.
True. At 20, Louisville. Boy, they've fallen. Oklahoma State, Northern Illinois, and Fresno State, both still undefeated. Texas A&M at 16, they've fallen. Number 15, Oklahoma, Virginia Tech, LSU, UCLA, Auburn. by the way, Auburn.
6, 7, 8, and 9 all lost on Saturday.
Auburn's not getting a lot of credit here. They're
No,
number 11. Let's remember.
Did they beat LSU? They beat LSU,
I think
right?
so. I'd have to double check. But I'm just saying, as an organization, Auburn, I mean, they, obviously a couple years ago, they came in, Cam Newton won them the title and then left. And they went back to absolute crap. I mean, to their credit, they just beat Texas A&M, actually. 45-41. They beat
it
Texas
was Texas A&M.
That's right.
Yeah. Ole Miss beat LSU.
I mean, good for you guys. And they're running the ball. Eighth in all of Division I in running the football. Kudos to Auburn. You never. I feel bad patting an SEC school on the back. But,
right?
I mean, clearly you came out from some crap. Number 11. Good for you. And a lot of programs here actually making their way back. Texas Tech is the number 10 school in the country right now, according to the BCS. Texas Tech sitting there at number 10. Have fun. 9, Clemson took a fall.
Yep.
Number 8, Baylor's back up in there. I think that's higher than they were ever ranked with RG3.
Might be.
Honestly. Miami of Florida at number 7.
They're still undefeated, aren't they?
Yeah, still undefeated, I believe. I can double check that. But number 6 is Stanford. And then we get into the top 5. Let's see, I got the record right here. Yep, they have not lost yet. And they're about to play Wake Forest, so they're not going to lose.
Nope.
Number 5, Missouri. That was another one.
Oh, they snuck in.
Missouri's number 5 in the country.
They're rolling everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams in here that are just really making some noise. They just beat Florida. I mean,
and then right
Florida's
before
having a
that,
pretty
who did they
bad
play
year.
right before that? It was another ranked team.
Georgia.
Yeah, they just beat back-to-back Georgia and Florida.
Back-to-back weeks. Oregon. Oh, sorry. Skipped a pretty big one. Number 4, Ohio State.
Here we go, Buckeyes.
Stay in 4. That's all you can really ask for. Number 3,
we haven't
Oregon.
played anybody yet.
Number 2, Florida State. And number 1, Alabama. Obviously, Alabama, Florida State, Oregon, Ohio State, all undefeated. And I can honestly say, by removing my bias and looking at it rationally, Ohio State has not earned to be ahead of any of those 3 teams.
No. I mean,
not at this point.
We've only played 2
they
ranked
were,
teams.
I would say, having a better season than Florida State, but then Florida State did what they
Beat the
did.
crap out of Clemson.
And pushed themselves into title contention where they are right now. According to the A&H, Anderson and Hester computer ranking, of course, we all know that, as well as the Kenneth Massey and the Jeff Sagarin computer rankings, they're actually the number 1 team in the country.
I mean, when you go into another school's home when they're ranked 3, and you literally just beat the crap out of them.
In conference, too.
Yeah, in conference.
Not even when you get a lucky break because you don't know each other.
Yeah.
I mean, these are 2 schools.
They went into Clemson, which is a very hard place to win at. Even when Clemson's not that good, they're hard to beat at home.
Absolutely.
And they went into Clemson and just beat the crap out of them.
All right, quick 3 up, 3 down, rapid fire style here. Down number 3, Chicago Bears lost to the Redskins despite scoring 41 points and lost Jay Cutler for at least the next month. Down number 2, Peyton Manning in an emotional return to Indianapolis. Manning was outplayed by his replacement and lost his...
Indy's defense outplayed
He was
Denver's.
still outplayed by Luck. Down number 1, the St. Louis Rams lost quarterback Sam Bradford for the season with a torn ACL. A rumor, they might be interested in Tebow. Jesus. Not making it up.
Why won't you people just let Tebow go and
number
die
3,
somewhere?
Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski. After missing the first 6 weeks, he finally made his debut against the Jets, catching 8 balls for 108 yards. Not bad. And up number 2, Florida State upset 3rd-ranked Clemson, 51-14. And mark my words right now, Jameis Winston won himself the Heisman. Up number 1, the Boston Red Sox and St. Louis Cardinals, the American League and National League champions. Good luck, gentlemen. Have a fun series. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Remember, next week is going to be Basketball Talk. It's our last show before the NBA season starts. So for Chris, for Von Erich, for Ashley, I'm Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week. Same time, same place. Thanks for listening to High on Sports on MorningShowCentral.com.